Hey guys, what's up? My name is Dom. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new to my channel, I typically make bookish content, movie content, and anything else in between because I like to do whatever I want on this channel, and tonight is going to be movie content. I'm actually filming this on Halloween Day. Tonight we are watching The Haunting, which is a film based on the book The Haunting of Hill House by Shirley Jackson. I read this for Halloween last year and I loved it. It was one of my top 10 books of the year of 2021. I'll link the video up above so you can hear like my full thoughts on this book, but basically what I really liked about it was not only was it spooky and it actually kind of scared me a little bit, I absolutely adore the ambiguity of this book because at the end of the day, it's never explicitly told you. You kind of have to infer, but like you don't really know if this house was actually haunted or if it was all in Eleanor's head. I wanted to watch this film because I know there's countless of adaptations out there, but I heard this film is by far the most accurate to the book. So I'm gonna go finish making my coffee. Hopefully no trick-or-treaters come around this time. I mean, it's only 1:30, so they should be in school, but hopefully they don't come when I'm in the middle of filming.
And whatever walked there, walked alone.
That's such a good quote. Whoever walked there walked alone.
It was an evil house from the beginning. A house that was born bad.
Oh.
I've been unable to find out how or why she fell. Story goes that the old lady died calling for help in the nursery upstairs, while a companion fooled around with a farmhand on the veranda.
Oh my goodness. Too busy getting laid. I'd be angry at death too. Girl.
Eventually drove the companion mad. We do know she hanged herself.
I remember Hugh Crane and all that, but I'm not remembering like this whole story that we're hearing. So that was actually kind of new to me. The narration of the film's interesting too, because I remember the book was, like most of the book was in Eleanor's, not like in first person, but it was in Eleanor's point of view, despite being in third person.
Maybe only a few loose floorboards. And maybe, I only say maybe, the key to another world?
Yikes, yikes, yikes. So eerie hearing that, knowing how it all goes down.
Just got to let me have the car. There's no other way of getting there, and I'm expected.
Calm down, Eleanor.
I've even a chance for a vacation in all my life, and you won't let me take it.
There's a very good reason Mother was afraid for you to go anywhere, and it still applies.
We're not going to dig up the family skeleton again, are we? I think you should have a vacation now.
I always hated how they treated her as a child.
We don't know where you're going, do we? You haven't seen fit to tell us anything, have you? No, you may not.
But she's a grown adult too. That's kind of what pissed me off about this. And I say that knowing what happens to Eleanor, but like still, like in the moment, like reading this.
How do I know you'll bring back my car in good condition?
Oh, come on.
And the childlike music in the background too.
I wonder what Dr. Marquay's like. Wonder who else will be there. Wonder what Hill House is like.
I feel so bad for her. Didn't she have like the Cup of Stars thing at some restaurant before this?
You mean that there's no one in the house?
No one you'd want to see.
Yeah, I'd bolt. If I showed up at a house and that's what the groundskeeper told me, I'd just get out.
Being given a last chance. I could turn my car around and go away from here and no one would blame me. Anyone has a right to run away.
Should listen to your gut feeling.
There's nowhere else to go.
That's actually kind of sad though. Like she felt so secluded and just so alone where she was. Like she's right. Like what else was she gonna do? I remember thinking reading the book like Eleanor was the perfect character to do all this too, just because of how vulnerable she was. So I think that's why it was so creepy to me. I don't like that knocker. Oh, hello. You could literally, so polished, you could literally see your reflection in the floor.
Talk about being scared of your own shadow. Do you have any idea when Dr.
No one could. No one lives any nearer than town.
No one will come any nearer than that.
Like, she is telling you to get the hell out of there.
In the dark.
Okay. This actress is doing a really good job of doing the thing that Eleanor does, where, like, she acts like she's confident, but she's not very confident at all. Her looks give her away because her face is saying the exact opposite of what her words are saying.
I haven't
Theo.
somebody's here. We're going to be great friends, Theo.
Like sisters? Listen, there's no need to hang around our rooms.
I remember with Theo too, just because of the ambiguity of the book. Like, I couldn't tell if she was a good person or not, but I still really liked her character. I actually had a lot of fun with that.
What's the matter?
Something with us.
I don't see anything.
Can't you feel it?
No. I feel a chill.
It's moving.
It's just air rushing past our ears.
It wants you now.
Yeah.
The house is calling you.
Time to bolt.
Don't let me go! Theo, stay with me!
You wouldn't believe this, but 5 minutes ago I left this door wide open so you could find your way. It closed by itself. Welcome to Hill House. Like it?
Oh, lovely. What do you call this?
The Purple Parlor. We're going to use this as the operating room.
That one.
Wrong. I've studied a map. It's this one. This proves it. One of you is a witch.
A broom closet.
Let's see if there's a tiger behind this one.
He's so charming. Oh my goodness, like he's like kind of enchanting about it. I'm gonna assume this is Luke.
What's wrong?
He looks very familiar. Who is that? He looks so familiar. Oh my god, he's Riff in West Side Story!
When you're a jet, all the way from your first cigarette to your last dying day.
Oh my goodness, that's why I recognize him! That's hilarious.
My new companion.
Except I don't drink.
Theo seems so gay in the book, and I like how they're kind of keeping up with that.
Her name shines in the annals of Duke University's psychic lab, where she identified 19 out of 20 cards held up out of sight and hearing.
We love an intelligent woman.
Hey, look, Doc, level with us, huh? I mean, you're a college prop, a man with a PhD. You can't really believe there's such a thing as a haunted house.
Oh.
Come off it, Doc. Really. The local mayor makes more sense to me. He claims the disturbances are caused by subterranean waters or electric currents, atmospheric pressure, sunspots, earth tremors, etc.
Sure. People always want to put an easy label on things, even if it's meaningless.
Cause science. I like the use of mirrors in this too.
My mother died 2 months ago.
You weren't sorry when it happened,
Oh.
were you?
No, she wasn't very happy.
And I won't say I'm sorry now.
I don't know if I'd know.
Personally, I don't think we need to respect the dead if they were terrible people in real life.
Stay up, Luke. Cash on the line.
Okay, over my dead body. You know every card I have
Oh,
in my
come
hand.
on.
There's a name for that, you know.
You mean cheating? I don't have to.
Okay.
Tomorrow we'll see all the place. Now let's go to bed. Unless anyone wants to clear out now and not have anything more to do with Hill House.
Not me. I hope to have plenty to do with it someday, money-wise.
Couldn't leave now, even if...
Form for what you'd call objects moving by themselves. Actually, they don't. They're moved by a force.
Oh. Well, about this ghost I can expect in my room tonight. Tell me, is it male or female? Good night.
I know he's kind of annoying being the doubter. I'm glad they have a doubter in this instance because I feel like you need that for like what's the word I'm looking for? Like he's another variable to the science experiment and I feel like he's keeping it all balanced. Like you got Eleanor who believes it a lot. You got him on the opposite side of the spectrum who doesn't believe it at all. And then I feel like Theo's in the middle. It's like kind of unclear what she truly believes in.
All right, Mother, all right. Just a minute, I'm coming. What is it?
I thought it was you pounding.
It was. I mean, I did. But now it's down near the other end of the hall. Must be Luke and Dr. Markway. Well, why should they be knocking on the walls? Well, something is. Anyway, it's only a noise. If it's tremors.
Don't go towards it. Oh my god.
A minute, I'll go out in the hall and call them. Are you all right?
Yeah, it's time to go. The silence is deafening. Oh my god. No. No, it's time to go. Adios.
Where have you two been?
What's the matter? You look like you've seen a ghost.
I thought I heard something run past my room. I woke Luke and we went looking for it all over the house and finally out in the garden.
But let's face it, girls, we didn't get very far from the house.
Well, then you must have heard that ungodly noise.
The use of mirrors. Now there's 2 mirrors in the scene.
When Luke and I decoyed outside, and you two are bottled up inside, wouldn't you say that something somehow is trying to separate us?
This is my first vacation in years, and I'm going to enjoy it.
That's the point. You need a real vacation. This isn't the first one.
I mean to stay.
What a vacation, though. Like, no thank you. Haunted house? My vacation, I was on a cruise. No haunted houses for me.
The only thing that kept me going was that someday I knew something would happen. Something truly extraordinary, like Hill House.
It's extraordinary.
She's so introverted and vulnerable, but I like her positive outlook on life.
It wouldn't be nearly so exciting.
Look at this feeling of excitement. It's the first sign you've fallen under the spell of the house.
Yikes. Run. This man is so charming. I love it.
What are you afraid of, Theo?
Knowing what I really want.
Can you read? Help. Eleanor. Come home.
What? It knows my name, doesn't it? It knows my name!
Simmer down, Nell. It could have said any of us. It knows all our names.
It's like interesting because in this situation, since they are in a haunted house.
I just want to know so that maybe it was only for a joke to frighten me.
This is what I'm about to say.
She's lying. I could swear she did.
I clear breakfast at 10 o'clock. I want to write your name anywhere now.
I set lunch at 1. I didn't wait to have breakfast with you. That's
the
why.
way I agreed to. You're way out, baby.
You know, Theo, as I'm beginning
I
to...
clear up at 10.
Please.
That whole thing was what I was about to say, because it's a haunted house, they automatically assumed it was a ghost. I feel like in order to debunk that, you should assume it's either Luke or Theo first, and then if it's not, then we could talk about like ghosts and shit. But then they went ahead and spoke about that, and Theo's being sly as a fox.
I'm just the kind who want to see my name scribbled all over this foul house.
Well, it's one way to attract attention, isn't it?
You are the one who suggested I change my hair.
Eleanor.
How dare you? How dare you?
Can't you see, Eleanor? Theo's just trying to get a rise out of you so you won't be frightened anymore.
Theo kind of read Eleanor for filth, though.
You're the companion. I'm Abigail, grown up. And Mark, we could be old Hugh.
Where do I fit in?
The dog. Why don't you dance with old Hugh, Eleanor? I believe he has his eye on you.
That's not funny.
Don't be so chicken.
Leave Eleanor alone.
Oh, I'll bet she doesn't even know how to dance.
I do too.
I felt so bad they always pick on her.
What? He moved.
Haven't you noticed how nothing in this house seems to move until you look away, and then you just catch something out of the corner of your eye?
Ouch! She stepped on my toe.
Bitch. I think one of the reasons I relate to Eleanor so much because I am that, the way they pick on her, I'm that friend. The best way I could say this is if I was in this situation, my friends would be Luke and Theo, I would be Eleanor. They would constantly try to scare me.
Now, I want to show you something really interesting. You remember that companion? The one Abigail had when she was an old lady? Well, you see that little balcony? Clear up at the top there, right up there in the shadows. That's where the companion hanged herself.
Would have been easier to jump.
I was dancing down these stairs. Can't you see it? Da 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 da.
Yeah, I'm out.
Elena, you're calling! Did you hear me calling?
Oh, this house.
You realize, don't you, that if even one event is proved to be an hallucination, then this whole experiment will be questioned.
I mean, that's part of science, though.
I think you'd better move in with Elena.
You're the doctor?
Oh, but that's my room, my very own room.
Well, I wouldn't want to run the risk of either of you spending another night alone.
You married?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm stupid and wicked and untrustworthy.
Like a roommate in the 50s and just forever unmarried. Gay rights.
2 weeks to find the little stone lions I keep on the mantel. Brush your teeth every night.
I've got a hunch I better get you back to your apartment as fast as I can.
Like, I feel bad that they treat her like a child.
Me. Am I the public dump or something for everybody's fear?
Girl, I feel that. I feel bad they treat her like a child, but also, like, she does have a childlike imagination, which is not a bad thing.
Go on, stand there. You two girls, stand there. A cold spot. A genuine cold spot. Better run along to bed before you catch cold.
Yes, teacher. Bless you. Come on.
Girl, just kiss him, like.
Well, why be mad at me? I don't think you killed your mother.
Oh my god. Hello, I am in a completely different outfit with a completely different hairstyle with makeup on my face because it is 11:45 on Halloween night. While my camera was charging, I celebrated Halloween. That is something I don't want to hear at night.
It's to scare me when it has, and poor Theo too. Honestly, feels like she's breaking my hand.
What? What? No, what? God.
Like, this part freaked me out so much in the book.
His hand was unholy.
Right. Like, who the fuck was it? And I think this is the point where, like, you truly don't know if the house is haunted or if it's in Eleanor's head. Because Eleanor was a very unreliable narrator, I thought, in the book.
Supposing it is in my imagination. The knocking, the voices, everything. Every cursed bit of the haunting. Suppose the haunting is all in my mind.
You can't say that because...
I talked about that. How many times did I bring that up?
I could say all three of you are in my imagination. None of this is real.
Sure, that's the easiest way to dismiss the supernatural. By pleading it.
That would be a plot twist.
I ought to have brought her the medicine. I always did before. But this time, she called me, and I never answered. Sister says I wanted Mother to die.
You're a fine person, Eleanor.
I mean, maybe wanting your mom to die is harsh, but I can imagine her quality of life probably went up when it happened, because it seems like she was the sole caretaker, despite the sister being there.
Honor the authors of thy being, daughter. Thy father and thy mother.
Hugh Crane, you were a dirty man, and you made a dirty house. And if you can hear me from anywhere, I'm telling you to your face, I hope you spend eternity in that foul, rotten book and never stop burning for a minute.
As you should. And the others look at her like she's crazy, oh.
Tell me, Dr. Markware, are you fond of stone lions, the kind you keep on the mantel?
Shut up, Theo.
You long for a tiny home, something smaller than Hill House. There's room for two, isn't there now?
You're a monster, Theo. You're the monster of Hill House.
Although she reads people real well.
The world is full of inconsistencies. Unnatural things. Nature's mistakes, they're called. You, for instance.
Jesus.
Grace Markway. Didn't John tell you he's married? Not even a treasure buried in the cellar?
There's the nursery.
Eleanor,
Thank you, my dear. The nursery it is.
Girl, it's time to go home. Can you imagine if, like, a head poked out of that?
What if he does have a wife? I still have a place in this house. I belong. I want to stay here.
Girl, she shouldn't stay, but stay.
He can't make me leave. Not if Hill House means me to stay.
She's clearly losing her mind.
Seems to me we've been on this kick before. Next vacation, I must really go somewhere else.
It's just like the echoing and the fact that I could hear like crunching in these headphones. So uncomfortable.
Get in! Get in, Johnny! Get in!
Time to go. No, no.
God, it knows I'm here.
It's breathing? That's what it looks like?
You must be crazy. I'm going out there. No,
Not with that thing out there.
We have to
Cut it out.
She's there.
No! Don't be crazy. Stop it.
No, you can't.
Gotta find out if Gracie's all right.
Look, I don't know what that is out there, but I don't want to find out.
Get away from me. I've got to get out of here. I've got to find out if Gracie's all right.
Kind of on Luke's side here, but that's because I'm a chicken. Girl, you're insane. Okay, it's just a statue. These freaking mirrors.
Well, if we don't find him, the police will be around quick enough, and then there'll be trouble.
I'm coming apart a little at a time. A little at a time. Now I know where I'm going.
God, the dancing. And Nell dances like that in the Haunting of Hill House TV show. You know, when Nellie danced like that in the show, that much she was about to die. This camera works very like claustrophobic too. It's always so close to her face, which is probably the intention, because since she's like suffocating with her mind, it's to make the audience feel like they're suffocating with her.
Eleanor!
I will not look back, because then they will know what I'm thinking.
Dude. No, this is not how she goes. Oh, okay. Oh. What the fuck? Oh my god. It's fucking 12:30 at night. I can't do that. Oh my god, I can't do this at all.
That's why you're leaving right now.
But I can't leave now.
I brought her car around front. Is she ready?
She's all packed. Take her suitcase, Luke. Oh, no, please, Luke. Let me stay. I'll help Mrs. Dudley. All it would cost you is just...
Like, I know the end result of this scene, but, like, this is smart. Like, they should have let her go earlier than this.
You must have lived somewhere before you came here. You had an address where I wrote you.
My sister's. I sleep on a couch in the living room. I'd be much happier here. I can't go back to my sister's.
You can. And immediately.
This is a mistake.
Well, she's unhappy anywhere, that poor girl.
I'm fine now. I'm not afraid. I was happy here.
I mean, you can tell by her hair she's not fine. Like, she's very unkempt.
Thank you for rescuing me in the library. That was wrong of me, I know, but I'm all right now.
Someone should be in the passenger seat.
Let's get moving, huh?
Okay.
Fools they are. The house tricks them so easily. Just by telling me to go away, they can't make me leave. Not if Hill House means me to stay.
No!
Eleanor!
Wait! Wait! Hill House belongs to me. I knew it. I knew it. Hill House doesn't want me to go. Something at last is really happening to me.
She's dead.
I woke up and I was frightened. So I tried to find your room, but I got lost, almost as though the house was doing it on purpose. And I ended up in the attic. I was only trying to find a way out when I opened the trap door. I wasn't trying to frighten her.
Eleanor did it to herself. Looked to me anyway like she deliberately aimed the car at this tree.
Where the first Mrs. Crane was also killed in an accident.
Maybe not, poor Eleanor. It was what she wanted, to stay here. She had no place else to go. The house belongs to her now, too.
Silence lies steadily against the wood and stone of Hill House. And we who walk here walk alone.
Hello everyone, it is Editing Dom here in the year of our Lord 2023. I decided to come in for this conclusion because I was rewatching what I made last year and I do not like it. My current opinion, now that I sat through watching the movie and editing it, has changed a bit. So that's why I want to come in here. The last one just sounded too pessimistic. I don't want to sound pessimistic. Here I am. All right, so that was 1963's The Haunting. Did I like the movie? I did. As a movie by itself, I do think it is a very good story. The director, writers, everyone who worked on this film did a very good job creating this tense feeling without many jump scares. Like, there are definitely a few things I jumped at watching. There was a lot of tension, and I liked how I liked the shifting of moods. In the beginning, the mood of the movie was very optimistic, where they're rooting for Eleanor, and the camera angles were nice and straight. And then as the movie goes on, in order to create that tension, the camera angles become more angled. They're not as straight. And it's a lot, I mentioned this earlier, it is a lot closer to Eleanor's face to, one, make you, the audience, claustrophobic, but it is also to show her deteriorating mental state. The music helped a lot too. There were some orchestral pieces, but I noticed in the more tense moments, like when she's at the top of the stairs or when the car's about to hit, the music's either quiet or non-existent. And sometimes I feel like when the silence is deafening, that creates a scarier encounter. And I think every actor did a wonderful job. From what I remember, again, at this point, it has been 2 years since I read the book. There are some minor changes to characterization, but, you know, whatever, what have you. The doctor in the book and the movie were both as nice and charming as we saw. Theo was very sarcastic and very confident in herself. And then Luke is the one who I think kind of changes the most. I do think he was a bit nicer in the book. And I remember in the book, because the movie hints that it's Eleanor and the doctor, they're the one who kind of have a thing of sorts. I don't want to call it a thing because it's not romantic, but you know what I mean. Whereas in the book, it was actually more so Eleanor and Luke. He was the one constantly looking out for her. In the movie, he was kind of more of a sarcastic asshole. Asshole's kind of a strong word, but still. Eleanor is definitely the closest. She was just as vulnerable, introverted, and panicked in this movie as she was in the book. And I thought the actress did a wonderful job, especially when it came to seeing Eleanor in action versus her voiceovers. It felt like two different people. When we physically see Eleanor, we see how panicked she truly is, whereas the voiceover, she's trying to calm herself, but it also represents what Hill House is doing to her. The thing I like most about this movie is the use of mirrors, because I've noticed every time Eleanor is either looking at her reflection or she's in the mirror, happens to be in the mirror, she's always there with someone else. So, because to me, the story, not only is it about a supposed haunted house, but it is about a woman who's trying to find her identity. And throughout the movie, it's clear she's trying to be like everyone else. She doesn't want to be as scared and as vulnerable as she is. She wants to be like, for example, Theo. She's constantly shown with Theo in these mirrors. And by having these mirrors, it's showing a reflection of what Eleanor truly wants. Which leads to my next point on identity. I do think Eleanor is the perfect type of character for this to happen to. It's shown in the beginning of the story in both the book and the movie that Eleanor, because she's so vulnerable, she is a very mendable person, if that makes sense. It is easy for people to mend her into the type of person they want her to be. And being someone like that, that's why it was so easy for her to fall under Hill House's charm, whereas Theo, Luke, and the Doctor were able to stay themselves throughout the story. That being said, there were a few things about this movie that I didn't like as an adaptation. I am a little upset to this day that they left out the whole Cup of Stars thing. When reading the book, I thought the Cup of Stars truly symbolized Eleanor's childlike imagination, because she truly had a lot of hopes for herself, and the Cup of Stars was the beginning of it all, and that's why she was making up things to Theo, and it was really her planning her life now that she was quote-unquote free. Another thing I kind of wish they included, but this I totally understand why they didn't, was all the little stories and the games that the characters would play with each other throughout the book. When reading the book, I thought the stories and the games were what helped their characterization, and it truly showed you how childlike and imaginative Eleanor is, and sometimes the other two, meaning Luke and Theo, would join in. And those stories and games showed how tight-knit these people actually were. But again, considering how long this movie is, I totally understand why they left those out. And lastly, I do wish this movie was a bit more ambiguous, because that is truly what made me love the book so much. At the end of the book, you really don't know if the house is haunted or if it was all in Eleanor's head, because the more she loses her mind, the more of an unreliable narrator she becomes. Again, it was solidified in the beginning of the story that she is a very imaginative person. She was making things up as she goes along. So it would not shock me if the author's intent was for the house to not be haunted and it was all in Eleanor's mind. And she was unreliable in the sense that I didn't even know, Theo specifically, I didn't even know if Theo was like a good person to her or if Eleanor was making it up. The movie makes it a bit clearer, but I thought that was part of the fun of the book, and it was what made Theo such an interesting character to me. And yes, there were some ghostly things all the characters witnessed, but the way it's worded in the book, for all you know, it could be a draft, or it just could be all the old floors and walls making noises simply because the house is old. And the book itself ended with Eleanor killing herself, and that was it. The characters didn't have the monologues we all saw at the end of this movie. So in summary, one of my main gripes with this movie is that while the book let you ask questions, this movie told you what questions to ask, but then even then, they answered them before you could even think of them. That's not to say this movie's bad by any means. I think by itself, it is a great movie. I could see why it was so beloved back then, and I do think modern audiences would enjoy it too. It did age pretty well. Last year, I gave this movie 3 out of 5 stars, but upon my rewatch, I would actually give it 4 out of 5. So that's my final thought on that, unless I add anything in the voiceover. If you like this video, give it a big thumbs up, comment, subscribe, y'all know the drill, and without further ado, I'm gonna peace out, and I'll see you guys later. Ciao a tutti.